What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Off Balance. I'm here with Val and Pio. Guys, how's it going?
Not too bad. You're fine.
Not bad, not bad. How was the weekend?
It was good, man. Just trained a lot. Since last week, I made a schedule. We'll talk maybe about that a bit later. But yeah, life's good.
What about you, Val?
Quarantine.
Yeah, every day is the same. Yeah, but we ended up doing the same as Pio. We set up the schedule now for ourselves and the kids. So at least we have different days and we can follow like 7 days cycle.
It's a good point you bring up. You're like, every day's the same. Friday night, I was like, oh shit, it's Friday night. It doesn't feel like a Friday night. You know what I mean?
Dude, I started using my schedule again because I had no fucking idea which day we were every single day for like the first 2 weeks. And I was like, last Sunday, actually, I went like, all right, I got to figure out something, like make a schedule. So at least I know which day is which and what I'm doing every day, or like a bit of it, you know, and improvise the rest. Cause I was becoming like crazy with it.
Dude, yeah, no, I hear you. It's, you could definitely easily get confused between the days. Like it's similar day every day, pretty much.
Yeah, you know, usually like with training, it's like, you know which session is when, you know, when like Monday is the hard sessions and, you know, it's going to like come at you hard. And then, you know, Friday might be a bit lighter because you're easing in the weekend. But now it's like, it's just like everything is new, right? Like we have new patterns of training for all three of us, I believe, and everybody else that does jiu-jitsu for sure, that are like confined at home. Like, so if you don't like structure, that's the way I feel, at least. Like, I felt my first week, I was doing like, I was training every day, but I was doing a bit like whatever I was feeling like, instead of like having a structure now, like, cause we're used to have a structure.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good point you bring up. I was actually thinking the same thing as you yesterday. I was like, cause yesterday I was like, all right, I wake up, I'm like, man, I don't want to just like freestyle it. So I messaged Tom. I was like, Tom, man, I want to do something that would like resemble the assault bike. What can I do to torture myself? He's like, do some sprints, but like long sprints. So like 400.
Or you hate yourself.
Once a week, dude. It's good to get that heart pumping.
I'm just thinking, like, imagine like having someone saying, I want to have a workout resembling the assault bike. It's like, oh, torture.
It's weird. It's weird. You definitely come across as like a saddle person for sure.
I think we're all.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I did, dude. I counted 400 steps outside and just banged out 400 meters, man. It was sick. And dude, like, listen to this. Yesterday it was super sunny, right? Yesterday.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day.
So many people outside. I literally had to run. So like, to count the 400 steps, I counted like right next to the sidewalk, but basically on the street, right? And then when it was time to sprint, I had to run in the middle of the road because there were so many people on their bikes, so many people walking around and chilling. It was crazy.
Yeah, the times are freaky. Yeah, the times are freaky. Like, you have to navigate your way around the people. And I have like to check my keys going around too close to people, and people are freaking out. It's bizarre.
Yeah, people are getting so like I don't want to say everybody, not necessarily generalizing, but I seen some like people acting up because of what's happening. Like, so I believe, was it actually maybe yesterday? I go for a walk every single day, regardless of if I'm going biking or like running or training. I go for a walk just to like, you know, like just get some fresh air and get in my head. So I'm walking on the sidewalk, and everybody, every time you cross, I'm sure you guys realize, like, everybody's like just like social distancing, you know, like 2 meters away. But there was that family of like 4, I think, like walking. The dad's in front, really nice, just gets a bit on the side. I get a bit on my side. But like the daughter comes by me, like she's too young, so she doesn't really know. But her mother went screaming at her, like saying, "What the fuck are you doing? You gotta go on the side, like we said. If the people don't," and she was like basically saying that at me, like saying, if the people don't do it, you have to do it. I was like, oh, like, I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I was like, you know, like, you don't have to freak out, you know, like we're still alive.
It's inevitable. People are locked up at homes for already 3 weeks, and tensions is rising. And we're kind of in a fortunate spot. If you heard, in Ontario, actually, you can't just walk
What do you mean?
anymore. You have to have a reason to get out. So
it's like
one family member can go to the store, buy groceries, or whatever. Like if you have an essential need to come out, you can go. But you can be stopped in the car. You can be stopped on the street if you're going just for a walk. So similar thing as they did in Italy actually. When like
I think in France it's like that. You
it's
need a
not
paper to go and walk.
exactly. It's not no longer a question of social distancing. You're not just coming out and trying to avoid getting too close to people. You just if you have no reason to be outside, you have to stay at home. So hopefully, like the measures that are taken in Quebec will be enough, so we don't get there. But looking around and looking at how things progress, we should be expecting. So enjoy while it lasts. But
Taza, enjoy your 400 meter.
You think we'll be able? We'll just have to stay home?
I don't know. Like that's what's happening everywhere, including our neighbors.
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. Listen, I'm gonna be sore for a couple of days, so I mean, I hope I get to bang out another one of them. And you know what? What's cool about the 400 meters? So like, you'll bang out a 400 meter. It's like it took me like a minute, from 1 minute to 1 minute 10 to get. I did like 3 of them. So one of them was like 1:09, one was like one was 1:03, and like between them, you take like 5 to 10. The last one I took like 12-minute breaks in between. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, dude, because it's
you're just dead.
Your legs are shot after, and so it feels like when you compete, you have a match, you put your hoodie back on, like 2-3 matches go down, then you're up. It feels the same. So I think it's really good conditioning. Those of you out there that want to get a good kick, go run some 400 meters. Without a doubt, you will be happy after you did it.
Yeah, definitely. It's especially 400 meters, such a long distance for a sprint.
It is
like you can't see the end of it. I guess at the third one, you're just like, fuck this shit.
You know what helps a lot is like I was doing A skips, C skips during my my ACL recovery. It's like see it as like drilling technique before you start sparring. You know what I mean?
It's like warming up.
Yeah, it's like it's similar patterns. It's like the hip hinge, and then you're like kicking your way forward. And when you do it and then you go to run, you see how it transfers very well. So definitely transfers like to wrestling, for example. If you're shooting, you know what I mean? Yeah. Similar patterns of movement. You know what I mean?
I feel like once you got injured in jiu-jitsu and you like yourself, myself, everybody basically. But once you you start trying to figure out a way to train smarter, you see that you're not going to go out running without a proper warm-up. Unless you're because otherwise that's how you get injured usually. So you're gonna be at home, maybe warm up a bit or do the C skip, A skip, whatever.
Yeah. And even before the A skip, B skip, C skip, all that crap, I did like a good 30 minutes home of just glute activation, hamstring mobility, just like getting ready. Because dude, like you're running, like you're almost. It's kind of like a sprint for a minute. You're sprinting for a minute, and you got to find like that amount of speed that you gotta sustain to be able to be able to do it 2-3 times at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bit like the assault bike you were saying.
Yeah, it's very similar to competing because you go hard in a match, but you don't kill yourself every match. See, you're doing like a competition is like 4 or 5 matches. You know what I mean? You kind of
you have to find a pattern.
You try not to take risks. Yeah, you try not to take like crazy useless risks in a match. You know what I mean? Like if you're leading.
Yeah.
You don't want to do something stupid. You just want to save your energy. It's kind of that mindset. But yeah, they don't stop us from doing that. I'm going to be pissed if
that would make it even harder. But especially the nice days are coming, so everybody wants to go out. So
even biking, you think if you go and bike somewhere, they're going to stop you? And
yeah,
for what I see, so kind of the reason is because people don't follow, especially when it's nice outside. So people start together doing barbecues or whatever it is, and
people
have
do
fun.
Barbecue. Holy shit!
Some definitely do. So they will enforce it. It's gonna affect everybody at the end.
Fuck, man.
That's the thing. It's like, but I feel I still go out on my bike. I'll probably my workout's gonna be even better if I have the police going after me. I'll have to sprint sprint and find my ways out. You know,
a triathlon. You gotta run, you gotta bike, you gotta jump, swim. You gotta.
Yeah, we'll be ready.
Runner.
Just take the bridge and jump in the water.
It's like a Tough Mudder, bro. It's like how you simulate like you know those races with obstacles. That's what it is.
Yeah, and like fake firearm shooting at you, but instead this time it's like the police behind you. So
it's a proper bullet.
Val, have you been still going to the gym? Have you been going to the gym with the family or
much? Like we went once this week, so.
Oh wow! So it's slowing down.
Yeah, because again, I hear people complaining that even if they are by themselves in their business, police knocks on the door, asks them to close. So
that's
I guess again, the reason will be somebody walks by, they don't know what's going on, and they will complain, or they will feel that they're not as exceptional or whatever it is.
Yeah,
you should just put giant curtains in the garage door so no one knows. You just enjoy the gym with your family.
Yeah. Definitely will probably do this, but still, you know, the vibe is not nice.
What's that, Val?
No, I'm saying that the vibe is not good. Like if you have to think about those things.
Yeah. No, that's definitely that's confirmed. I've been going to the park at night. They have these like these warning, like, you know, when there's like a crime scene somewhere and they put these bands, warning yellow bands.
Yeah,
I go at night. I go do L-sit pull-ups at night, man. Like I don't touch anything. I just have to jump as high as I can to touch it. And I'm doing like holds some days I'm doing, you know, like 15 reps. It's like, you know, you're still working your grips, still working your core. And if you do the L-sit, you got your hip flexors that are firing. So, you know, it simulates a lot, you know, like what you're doing in grappling. You know, you're pulling, you're snapping down, for example, your knees to chest. You know, I think like an L-sit pull-up would be something good to do. I mean, you don't have to go to the park at night and do it and risk getting fined, or, you know, I'm not encouraging you to do that, but whatever, man.
It's a really good tool for jiu-jitsu.
And you should do it.
Yeah, actually, I'm lucky enough to have a pull-up bar at home, but I suggest you guys, if you can get a pull-up bar, man, it's like that goes into the door. It's been saving my ass for that. It's really good. One? Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice, man. I put the elastic too on it so I can do some stretches and stuff like that.
Dude, here's the thing. Here's why. So, Val, you brought up a good point last episode. I don't know if we were still recording when we brought it up or if we cut, but you mentioned like if we're not sharing the same household, you wouldn't really like see it as a good idea to train, even if it was just a group of two people, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. What do you think? Like, we've been in isolation 3 weeks now. I haven't gone a single like jiu-jitsu session. Nothing, nada. Not even an inversion, man. Nothing. Not even a hip escape.
A couple of times.
Nothing. It's wild, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
I wonder what people think about it in New York. Let's say people who were advocating continuing training and all of this, seeing what goes on in New York State and.
New York right now is, I think, like, New York is completely fucked up. The last thing we had was, I think we discussed about it, was like when Gordon and Tom DeBlas posted on their Instagram that they were training, they got slashed online. Yeah. I feel like New York City is like completely shut down. I don't even know if there's any form of training over there right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know if they're still training, if they're not training. I mean, I just hope nobody gets it. That's it. Because I hear, like, you know, the effects on the lungs will last. And then obviously that could kind of like fuck up your career. So hopefully nobody gets it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would suck, definitely.
Now I hear more and more people saying that initially it was only sought out as a disease for old people, right?
Yeah,
but now that more and more people generally, in general population, are getting exposed, actually it's not that clear. Definitely, like if you have predisposition, you have weak health, weak immune system, and you're older and maybe out of shape, you're gonna be hit harder. But now even kids get sick, and young adults get very sick, and like people of my age, some die. You know.
That's great.
I feel like the hardest thing is like, because people are saying at first, oh, it's only for like older people, and then they say like, oh, those people start getting sick. So, but there's so much literature on it right now. There's so many like different like researches and science from everywhere. So it's hard to like exactly know what's going on. Like the only thing we know is everybody can get it, but then like the percentage of people like really dying from it and all that stuff is so hard to detect right now because we're in the mid of it. So it's like I've been reading a lot of shit, and then I was like, all right, fuck this, I'm gonna stop reading that, because it's just like gives you different ideas all the time. You're like, okay, am I that much at risk or not? I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna stay away from it as possible, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's the kind of information. Like, what are you gonna do with that information? You know what I mean?
You can do shit with it.
There's not much you can do. However, we have some other questions that we can do things about, and we're gonna go over them.
Yeah, let's do it. And since we're not scientists.
Yeah, we ain't scientists. We're gonna.
I think a general approach shouldn't be listening to Jiu-Jitsu guys. If you want to make up your mind on what to do during the pandemic, you should probably listen to some people with science background.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about what we kind of know, and that's jits, that's training, that's staying in shape, staying in the game, staying active. Using what we have. First question: preach to us about the importance of watching tape and how much of it is supplied to your training schedule. Interested in hearing how you approach it. Is it athlete based, more position, move, concept based? Do you take notes with positive, negative feedback? How do high-level guys approach it? Since you have proximity to those guys, what do you guys think? Tape.
All right, I'll go ahead because I've been starting to watch more tape recently, obviously because of all what's going on, and I'm getting the itch of getting back in the gym, right? So I'm like, what can I do? Well, I'm alone, so I gotta watch tape. I've been watching most. I try to not watch just for entertainment purpose, so I try to. And I don't pick really like, oh, I want to learn today like this exactly, but I'll pick high level matches. So I always go back to ADCC no matter what. It's like, that's my first one. I'll rewatch. Maybe matches I've seen only once, or I've seen only back in September when the event was going on. So, because there's some matches like your match, Taza, Gary's match, like, my friends that were competing, I'm like, I've watched them more, but maybe I'm missing out on some like high level matches. So I try to find the one I didn't really saw and try to see what those high level guys do. And then I don't necessarily take notes. It happens sometimes, but most of the time I just try to like see what's going on and like rewind it whenever and try to pick up a thing or two. Yeah.
Yeah. Val.
So for me, there is before and after. So before the end of the world, I used to I was looking for guys who were playing and still playing the game that fits into my game, trying to watch their matches and pick up on stuff, and then definitely tried in rolling, So see if it works, if it fits my body type, my game, and keep on working. Now it's a little harder, so now it's basically there's no feedback. You study by watching. I still try to pick up, and sometimes I try to drill with my wife a little bit, but definitely there's no.
Man, bro. Let me tell you that. Yeah.
Exactly, but the fact that I can't actually test it in with resistance and somebody of my weight and strength makes it definitely not as easy.
Of course.
It's definitely gonna be harder for us to have the same kind of progression, not having like massive amounts of mat space to roll and have guys our size, our experience level, really give us that resistance that we get. You know what I mean? When you're having these rounds, like when we roll together, it's not like, all right, I'm here trying stupid stuff like with like a white belt, like lighter person than me when I'm trying stuff. It's not the same. It's gonna be hard to get that, obviously. But I think the one thing you highlighted that's super important is like when you're watching tape, don't watch it from a fan's perspective. Watch it from like a perspective like, all right, I'm looking at the grips, the position, everything. What would I do there? You know what I mean? What would you do there? What what move is he doing? Because now it's opening your mind to like other possibilities, right? And then you can see, like if I'm watching them, like for example, Lachlan, I watched all his absolute matches in a row because it's like one athlete, he's doing a specific thing. So I'll spend maybe like 20 minutes watching that and I'll stop, you know what I mean? And I have enough ideas to think about and play around with, you know what I mean? Or like if I want to watch like in my division, like Dante, for example, I'll watch his matches all in a row. I'll go back.
I've watched them recently.
Yeah, I'll go back to like Nogi Worlds. I'll go back to other comps he's done. You know what I mean? So it could be athlete, it could be move based, or if I'm doing leg locks, I'll watch a bunch of leg lockers do their thing.
Yeah, definitely. It has to go a bit with like how you feel that day too. Like if you feel like maybe picking up on some leg locks, obviously you're not gonna go watch fucking IBJJF Pan Ams in the gi, you know.
Never know. Never know.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I mean, how you get to the matches you're gonna watch really depends on what's going on in your training, or what you feel like learning. But the most important thing is to try to take out the like a fan aspect of it. Be like more.
It's easy to fall into too. Like sometimes I watch tape, and if I'm not in that zone of like, I want to learn something or maybe analyze, sometimes I'm just like fucking enjoying whatever I'm watching, and now I'm like, hey, I wasn't supposed to do that in the first place, which is good still. You know, it's fun to watch matches for the fun of it. Like if you guys want to do it, you do it.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world watching an exciting match and like replaying, rewinding, seeing it again, seeing it in slow motion, looking at it again over and over. I do that sometimes. I watch like the same like 5 seconds over and over and over again. Like you can do that sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes the more you see the thing, kind of like it makes more sense. You know what I mean?
You know, actually, what I did this week, that's really from a fan perspective. I went on Flow Grappling, and then I was a bit bored at night and didn't want to watch like Netflix or shit like that. You know, like a bit before bed, you don't like. I wasn't in the mood for reading, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I put it on Flow Grappling, the Black Belt Slayer Nick Rudd documentary, just to pump me up. I was like, I fucking wanted to roll after, or just go lift some weight, you know?
Yeah. Guys, you should go check out Nicky Rod's YouTube channel. He's got a sick ass pump workout.
I love this guy, man.
I love it, man. Actually, you know what? His workout video, I watched it this morning. First thing when I woke up in the morning. It got me out of bed, man. You know what I mean?
For sure. It's going to pump you up.
It got me out of bed, bro. What else can I ask for?
Oh, man.
It's funny. He's got Nad, Gordon, and Ethan in there just fucking doing like overhead lunges and shit. It's funny. Doing curls. Like you see them like swinging momentum. Like, listen, the form out the window. The hype, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. They win at the hype. It doesn't matter. The hype corrects their form.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, that was
another question
for the tape. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so this one is more of a technical question, like jiu-jitsu technical question, which is going to be hard to cover, you know, just by talking, but we'll do our best. So, I'm not sure if it's covered later in the adjustment section, but there was a huge height difference between me and my training partner. It was difficult to assess how to maintain the wedging while keeping the heel up around the shoulder line. You know, I get asked this question often.
Where did the? Can you repeat the question? I just missed the beginning part. It was like lagging a bit.
Yeah. All right. So the person asked me, hey, I'm not sure if it's covered later in the adjustment section, but there was a huge height difference between me and my training partner. So basically here, I'll tell you what his question is. The guy's trying to, you know, practice his outside, and the guy's leg is taller than, you know, like normal leg. You've had that problem before.
Shout out to Donna.
Yeah, he's got long legs, but his heel's easy to catch. So we got a shitload of practice, baby.
The foot is like this long. This is the foot to catch.
It's a cutting board that you find in cheese factories or like
Il caccio.
Anyways, so all right, so this is a common problem. Listen, if you're starting, like if you're drilling, you're sitting, you guys in double guard, you're an outside ash, you're trying to catch the heel. Yeah, it might be hard to go and reach for it and readjust it. But listen, here's a way you can practice that. I think if you're able to start with the heel exposed, and you start the roll through and you switch to reverse figure four, the leg is basically 90 degrees bent almost, if not more. So when you finish the roll through, it's going to straighten up his leg, isn't it? So with your tension, with the reverse figure four and with the triangle locked around the hip, you're going to control how much you can straighten that leg, right? And then you choose when you stop the roll so you won't have that problem. Because if the leg is relatively straight, yeah, if the guy has a long leg, it's going to be hard to catch. You know what I mean? So I think maybe trying to get a roll through would be good. The other thing, if you can't back heel behind the hip, would be to press your feet against the hip or step on top of them, just a way to pin them down. That way it's hard for them to move and straighten the hip. Is it going to have the same amount of control? I don't think so, but it's a good alternative.
Yeah, I feel like what you said about the reverse figure four is a big one. You know, like switching, if they like when they go into that roll and you roll through and you switch to that reverse figure four, you can really apply pressure. And if like you lose the hip control, you can always like maybe turn it into a kind of a heel knee bar or knee bar from that grip. It's always possible.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, also the reverse figure four grip, what it's doing, it's a pushing and a pulling grip, right? So you're pushing his toes into his butt. That's always going to get a micro bend in the knee, and it's going to help you get the break a lot better. Guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, you're listening to this, that means you need to go get my free instructional. If you don't know what we're talking about, you're behind. Take advantage of this free giveaway, guys. I mean, I don't know when you're going to listen to it, but just email support@grapplers.com. Ask them for the no-gi leg locks, all right? Because once we start hitting the mats again, we're going to go over 2.0. You want to fall behind even more.
Plus we're going to put it in the bio and in the show notes so you guys can catch it. And I've been on Instagram a bit every day, and every time I see Taza posting a story, I'm like, oh, that's the instructional again. And guess what? It's the instructional again. Because you were saying it seems like every time you post, like there's still people asking you, how do I get this? And you've been posting for 2 weeks.
Bro, it's insane. Like marketing, I'm realizing how much I don't know anything about it. I don't know jack shit about it. I don't know. Like, even if people see it, and you know what? I've been lucky because I have a bunch of my buddies, you know, reaching out for help, you know, and I've been like trying to adjust things, tweak things. They've been telling me you should do this a bit more, you should do that more. I don't know jack shit. And then to be honest, I think it's something as athletes we need to learn how to do, is to learn how to like, I'm not saying sell people
gym owners
believing something that sucks, but people don't even get the message sometimes. Like, I'm not trying to, like, literally at this point, I'm not even trying to make money. It's not going to benefit me any way, shape, or form now if you get the DVD for free. You know what I mean? But it's still a message that I'd like people to get, and then learning how to like give that message and reach as many people as possible is something I definitely need to learn how to do.
You know what? Something else too is like by people getting your DVD for free in that period of time right now, it's a nice thing. And then the second thing is like they get maybe to know you and your style of teaching.
Yeah.
And that's a big one, because when you're going to release other stuff, then people might know, okay, this is my style. I really like how Taza teach. They're going to get like follow through, and they're going to start like being part of your following.
Yeah. I mean, I've been getting a lot of good feedback, man. And you know what? The main thing that I noticed people telling me is the fact that it's the word concise came about many times, like concise and straight. Like, I don't know, man. I don't watch a lot of instructional, so I don't know what it sounds like, what guys are doing in there. But from what I'm hearing from the feedback, I think people are, you know, just spreading it a bit too much, or maybe explaining a bit too much, and I
think it's different styles, obviously, but I agree. Like I like the forward style where like you explain a bit of the concept, but you show visually what's going on, and you explain it while you're showing, so people can associate like not only the talking part to like, okay, the guy's just talking in front of me, versus like he's talking and showing at the same time. I feel like might be a better way to learn, but then again, it depends on everybody. I like the concise.
I think it's an interesting format. Yeah, I think it's gonna definitely be an interesting format, because a lot of people, like, I did a poll also, and I asked, hey guys, like, what would you rather, like a long ass big instructional with shitload of things, or would you like to, you know, pick topics, go in depth, and, you know, go at it like bit by bit instead of just a big chunk in your face get it.
Yeah, and another thing with concise instructionals too is I feel like you downloaded it so you can rewind it as much as you want. So if you miss the technique because it's going fast, well, guess what? You just press rewind a couple of times and you're back on it, and then you can work it out with your buddies in the gym. So
it's been nice being home for that because I've been able to, get back to people right away. Like they message me, guess what? I'm sitting on my laptop. I get the notification, like just able to interact a lot more. And I don't know, man, I feel like it's like one of my best parts of the day, just seeing that, even from this room that I've been recording, I can have like some kind of impact on people's game. Because, man, a lot of people are home with like mats and with somebody they can drill with. So a lot of people are drilling,
Yeah.
And the good thing about leg locks is not like high impact moves. It's, you can do it in a little room. Can definitely.
It's not a blast double into the wall. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not.
Make sure to pick your wife and blast double into the wall.
That's it. Val will send us an instruction on how to do it.
I think I can be on the receiving end. Actually, she was training with Gia as well. So.
Oh yeah, baby. She's been training with Gia as well. Let's go, Val. Your sprawl's not bad, man. You can sprawl, maybe Uchimata, reverse.
Reverse through the window.
Yeah, reversal through the window. All right, next question. As a beginner, what do you think I can do to become less afraid of no-gi? LOL. It's been about 7 to 8 months I've started practicing jiu-jitsu, and I quickly went to the gi because there was an underlying fear if I didn't even know what exactly. I also quite like but that's aside from the point. Anyways, so basically it's a person that did mostly gi and is, I think I know what the problem is.
Yeah, burn your gi.
Huh?
There is no problem at all.
Burn.
You're doing it right.
They're doing it right. Exactly. Stick to the gi. Don't switch to no gi. No.
We'll take different point of view here.
Let's take that back immediately and correct that statement before it's too late. Before we lose our audience. So here's the thing that I'll tell you about the difference between the gi and the no gi that I noticed. You have a lot more pulling grips in the gi. You got pulling grips. You have a collar. You have sleeves. You can entangle somebody with the lapel, especially nowadays. God knows how many worm guards there are. So there's that. You know what I mean? I think no-gi, the people, when they lose the feel of that bit of control they have with the grips, they kind of lost. They don't know what to grip. You know what I mean? But again, no-gi, the grips are just more dynamic. You know what I mean? You get a grip. You know it's going to slip off. You kind of know in which direction it's going to slip off. So you need to be pushing in that direction. And you need to not only be pushing, but, threatening a heist, threatening to come up. And then guess what? Off that heist, people are going to sprawl. That opens up their base. When they open up their base, you're getting underneath them. And you get underneath them, now you can off balance. So, you know what I mean? It's just more of a matter of habit and a matter of knowing a bit what to do with these grips that are going to slip off and how to also, you don't want to, unless you're like a meow brother, you can't just stay on your back supine in no-gi. You can't. You got to mix between seated. You got to mix being on back. And I'm not saying, people in the gi do that all the time, but you got to be able to mix it up, I feel, a bit more in no-gi because you really got to have that ability to come up and start to scramble and wrestle and mix between resting and elevating. I feel like that could, if you can go about your no-gi with that big idea, I think you'll have less of fear of switching. So take that gi off.
Yeah, and another thing, I think, well, you talked about it, like the gripping in no-gi is so different, right? It's more dynamic, and you don't have like pulling and holding that much. So let's say I grab an elbow, often I need to like either wedge it where like it's hard to move, so they have to go in another direction where I can follow them and open up a transition. It's mostly like a lot of almost catch and release, like besides like the Kimura grip and maybe like a Bailock, which is more of a like holding and like isometric grip. The rest of it are mostly wedges that you put in between you and your partner to either prevent them from moving or moving in the direction you want them to move.
Yeah, exactly.
Then once you start understanding it by obviously trying it and not trying to hold on, like if you grab a wrist in no-gi, and sometimes you see guys that haven't done that much no-gi, they grab a wrist and they hold on like it's almost a spider guard, but they're like the speed goes down and they can't really get a move going just because they're holding on a position that's not necessarily good.
Yeah.
So I feel for me, like the big thing is like transitioning, like being able to, instead of going from grip to holding, is like gripping to moving and then going into something else.
Yeah, let the partner do the work for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wherever he goes, take him more in that direction. That's always a good way to go at it. You know what I mean? I always love it when people will grab my wrist and put a foot in the bicep like I was a spider. I'm like, come on, man. Are you serious? Just spin the leg into saddle, boom, drop the heel. That's it. Game over.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion one of the fun things about nogi is just that freedom, you know, there is freedom in Nagi, obviously. I'm not saying there isn't, but you just got that liberty of scrambling, moving, scrapping, wrestling. I don't know, I just love it.
It's definitely faster as part, like it's a different, there's difference in it, and so it's definitely jiu-jitsu but a bit faster, but maybe with a bit less control than when you have like grips that you can pin down your opponent, and so it's a different style.
Yeah. Funnily enough, like I'll watch the gi for I'll watch a lot of Marigali like on top. He's been really good on top. The last couple of times I saw him compete, and he does this really nice thing where he'll almost give you inside position with the legs and like force a single leg X / outside ashi and threaten the back from there. You know what I mean? And it's something I was playing around with a bit before my match against Servio at the gym. And, you know, like it really forces people to push and frame. You know what I mean? Because you let them get underneath you in a way where like they can't really use their legs to frame on you, but you cut that distance already. So they're forced to frame on you and push, and it exhausts people, you know, and it leaves them very vulnerable to like drags to head and arms, to the Darcis, the Nelsons. So like I'm not saying that watching the gi is completely useless. On the contrary, I watch the gi all the time. As a matter of fact, I have some of my favorite matches are in the gi. Just got to know what you want out of the match you're watching, you know, and that takes time. You know, you got to get to know the top grapplers. You got to get to see what they like to do, what they don't like to do, you know, what their styles are. And once you kind of know what their styles are, it'll be easier to always go back and review some of that information. You know what I mean?
Plus another thing, the guy was saying he's like kind of fearful in a certain way, but he doesn't know why. I feel like it's just the unknown. It's just like when you started jiu-jitsu, you were probably a bit fearful maybe of like what's going to happen, depending on everybody, you know? So if you started jiu-jitsu in the gi already, it's going to be the same thing, you know? Take off the gi. It's going to be new stuff. You're going to fail at it, but you're going to get better if you stick to it.
Exactly, so especially if you're not a pro competitor, let's say. Nowadays, I think there's a lot of benefit in specializing in one or the other, because it's becoming evident that two games are slightly drifting a little apart, right? If you're a specialist in one, it not always is going to be 100% transferable to the other, right? But if you're just training for the fun of it, I think it's very good to train both.
Oh, for sure.
And you see, I've seen judo guys training without the gi in judo training, you know, just because they had fun, you know, it was something new, something because we're solving puzzles as we train, and that gives you like another puzzle to solve.
That's true. That's true. Listen, other than the laundry aspect, man, I love the gi. You know, other than the fact that I have to worry about packing it in my bag when it's dirty.
When you travel, man.
Oh, when you travel, mission. I've done it once. No. Listen, I've done it a couple of times actually. There's here's one I remembered that I did gi. I was doing a match breakdown versus Lachlan. I haven't released it yet because I don't want to risk getting a strike on the YouTube channel. Like, we're just trying to figure out rights for now, like if we're able to use the footage or not. But anyways, I rewatched it and I'm like breaking it down for myself, and I'm noticing like the effect training in the gi 6 months prior to that match did on my game in general. Because when I had the match versus Lachlan, I'm the one who scored most of the takedowns, most of the reversals, and some submission attempts. That's how I got the decision against him. But when I'm looking at the leg entanglements themselves, they were kind of like not as sharp as I would
your
like.
Usual.
Yeah. So, I think regardless of whether you skip, you spend, I don't know, whether you're doing gi or no gi, you gotta remember what your main moves are, what your strengths are. Your main weapon. What is it? You know what I mean? You gotta always keep
I
that in
agree.
mind and go back to it and adjust it and spend more time in it, because you can get sloppy. If you're not spending that time in it.
Yeah. Plus another thing that I like just to reinforce what you said, it's like if let's say leg lock is one of your best weapon, and you're like, oh, I got it, I'm good at it, instead of like going back and drilling it and making sure it's sharp over every time you're about to compete, well, you're gonna make a mistake, because at some point, if you don't touch it for like 6 months and you
Yeah.
almost never do them in the gym, don't
Mhm.
think like, oh, out of nowhere you're gonna start like locking everybody. It's
Yeah.
not that easy. You need to keep those skills sharp as hell.
Yeah. Dude, that's so true. And it really hit me when I rewatched that match, because before that, like in the camp, I did work leg locks, but I worked mainly on my wrestling for the match against Lachlan, and staying heavy on top and getting to the back and stuff like that. But not much leg locks, and it showed. And it's kind of disappointing, because now that I look at it, I'm like, you know what? I could have had a better performance that had like more success in my career. I don't know. It's just an adjustment to make for me. It's just like to always, like you said, keep in mind your main strength, and don't take it for granted that you can do them good, because you can always do them better. You know what I mean?
Well, you still dominated the match, but I know what you mean. Like getting the sub is always more fun,
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, like the things like follow-ups, like the transition, like the ashy to the back, switching to the other leg. These things, like, you get into a rhythm when you do them often enough, and you're able to switch from one to the other. You're just sharper. You can have all the pointers in the world and still be shit at it because you don't spend time in it, right? Or you can
Yeah.
just do it over and over, work on it, sharpen it, drill it, and just be sharper at it, just by doing it a lot. And I think that's something I gotta keep in mind when I get back to training after the apocalypse that we're going through right now.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking the same actually in the last couple of months of training. I was like, that's leg lock was something I wanted to go back so much. I was like, I haven't like drilled them properly in so long, and I felt like I wasn't sharp at all. So
Yeah.
if you don't drill them, you're not going to be good. Of course.
Exactly. It's a martial art, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so special about it, is that there's always a way that you can figure out, that you can do better, that you can adjust. There's always improvement that you can make on that little position, or that little guard that you're playing. You know what I mean?
And that is true repetition and dedication, of course, like
Yeah.
in discipline. Yeah, like you said, it's a martial art.
Yeah. The time you spend in the position, definitely you'll see things that you didn't see. You know what I mean?
It's incredible, yeah. I oftentimes tell the students as well, like how many times I've seen a variation of an armbar finish from the same position, and every time I see a better, more effective option, and it's like every year you discover the same position, rediscover it, and
Oh yeah,
it just gets progressively more interesting.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
listen,
and you,
I'm not saying a competitor should be like specialized and not be well rounded, but I think, I don't know, when I watch certain competitors, like, I'll give you an example: Adam Wardzinski and Nikki. You know what he's gonna play. He's consistent with the style he plays. You know what he's gonna do, and it's nice to know what he's gonna do. And when he hits it, you're like, he managed to hit it again, even though his opponent already knew. And that's what makes you want to learn his stuff. Like, what are you doing there that's making it work on a lot of people? You know what I mean?
yeah, absolutely, and which I agree with, and to reinforce what Val you were saying, it's like, you could see, let's say, outside heel hook, you could see all the best detail the first time. You're not going to retain all the best detail. Obviously, you're going to retain a couple, like the position, the whole position. You're going to retain a couple of pointer, but over the years of drilling outside ashy, let's say, heel hook or an armbar or whatever, then you're going to start adding details over and over. But that's only if you believe in that position and you keep drilling it. There's no no shortcuts.
Yeah. There's also the fact that, when we're at Henzo's, or like in any gym where there's a lot of high level guys, it's that rate of finding things out is higher.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you can't do it alone. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you can't do it alone. So definitely definitely something to keep in mind. Now imagine the things that you've seen in your game that you never thought you could have added, and imagine being able to add that, like for example, to your single leg or your double leg or your sprawl, like things that like in wrestling that you're not good at. You know, like
So
you can do
many
it if you spend time in it, right?
Yeah, you got to practice. You got to rep, and you got to seek for the highest knowledge possible.
Just too lazy to wrestle. Just like Craig says, settle for silver.
Settle for silver.
He's like, listen, if I gotta wrestle to win gold, I'm happy with silver. I'm good.
Oh man, Craig's the man. He's hilarious.
I'll take silver. It's good.
That's amazing. Do you have any more questions from
That's it for me, man.
That was it. Okay, good.
I didn't charge it too much. That's what I had, in the past couple of days. A couple of questions, guys reaching out, and we really appreciate any kind of questions, anything you guys want to reach out for. It really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get back to drilling, man. Just drilling. Like I want to drill right now. I never thought I'd crave drilling like to this point. You know what I mean?
And the other day I was just drilling some leg entries and finishes on my girlfriend, and she's never done jiu-jitsu in her entire life. She has no idea of what's going on. She hated it, but oh man, I felt.
Oh, she didn't like it.
No, she thinks it's funny, but sometimes she's like, obviously, like someone who never done jiu-jitsu, like you I don't know, you combat base on her leg, and she's like, oh my god, it's hurting, and you're like, what? You're like, how weak are you?
That's funny.
But she's willing to pick it up a bit, so maybe I'll give her a class or two, and we'll figure it out.
You know what you could do? You could do. I think if you're, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I was debating, like, do I grab somebody from my family and drill shit on? I'm like, no. Let's not risk it. Let's not risk it. They're too fragile. But if you got somebody who's not too fragile, you can like incorporate skills like, the one where you have them stand and like they can like open up their legs. You can invert around.
Yeah, you can throw some ashies too. I was doing some ashie drills.
Yeah,
I just had her stand like that. Yeah.
The spinning around, this one's a really good drill. Or like you can have them like on their back, knees to chest, and then just work like throw-bys. And then you do a minute, just pop, side to side.
Yeah, exactly.
You work on your inversions, your lateral, I don't know, like fine speed micro drills where you're drilling like a little movement at a high rate. You can get like a good
you know what? Like a lot of the things you said, like you can actually drill on your own if you have a ball or something. You can practice like side to side. Passing, footwork.
One of them
for sure
right there.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, man. Those are good too, man. But yeah, you gotta find a way. I don't know, man. I'll think about it. I'll see if I grab one of the family members. Maybe I'll grab the little dog. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do, man. Yeah, dude. You gotta soldier it out.
Yeah, at least like if you're staying fit, staying in shape, and watching tape, and like having your mind to it, it's not the end of the world, yeah. I don't know, 99% of the world is in the same situation as us right now, so
I think it's one of the most frustrating things that there is zero control. Like you can't do anything at all about the thing. Like
that's wild, man. That's wild. Yeah. You know what though? Like I'm complaining about a lot less things. Like even though you're tempted to complain, you're like, wait, shut up. People are dying. Don't complain about that stupid thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Catch yourself telling yourself, yo, don't complain. People are dying right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking the same. Like this week, I had some issue with like deliveries from stuff that I ordered, and at first I was like really frustrated. I was like, fuck this shit, it's not going on great. And then in the same day, when you're a bit pissed about something, I thought about it after, and I was like, I'm so fucking like stupid. I shouldn't be frustrated for like that little thing doesn't change shit. I'm healthy. I have kettlebells. I have food. What else do I need? And I can go outside, bike, run. So we're good, man.
It's a good learning lesson, definitely, when it comes to not complaining about the little things, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And hygiene, bro. I've never been so careful about how clean what I'm touching is, and
wash your hands.
Do you guys put on? What's the deal with the masks? Is it help or it doesn't help? I keep like
definitely does help.
It does.
Obviously, for ages, medical workers were wearing them. But you see the point again.
What was that one guy there's always that one guy somewhere. Oh, the masks, they're useless. It's misinformation. I don't know, man.
What actually?
Masks.
Like the WHO, the World Health Organization or something like that, was saying from the beginning, like, oh, masks they don't really help, but so you don't need them, but keep them for the medical staff. So you're like, wait a minute, you're saying the medical staff needs them, but like not the people. So they were trying to probably prevent the shortage by twisting up a story like that. But at the end of the day, it's proven that even a scarf or even any piece of tissue will actually help prevent not only your flow of air to go through, but like other people's to come through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I walk in like in the pharmacy. I walk in like this, legit.
Yeah,
it's gonna help a bit.
Yeah.
Like a simple test, you take a spray of water, and we know that the virus sits in the water droplets, right? Spray it on the tissue. How much of it comes through? So
yeah, that's true.
It's so basically now you're seeing more and more people like saying, oh, you can actually use t-shirt and like recycle them into masks, and they're better than not having anything. It's like, even if it helps, let's say 50 or 60%, well, it's that much better than having nothing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm sold on that. Listen, if it helps, I'm sold on the idea of having masks. Or like, listen, I've been like, what I would do if I'm like walking, like yesterday, I had to go to a pharmacy, get something for the family. So what I did is like, I literally saw a bunch of people. I held my breath for like 40 seconds. I walked through and I was like this, like just running through them. You know what I mean?
Did you do some Wim Hof breathing exercise right before, just to get your breathing ready?
You know what? Now's the time to do the Wim Hof shit, man. Now's the time to do that Wim Hof stuff. I should. You know what?
I actually tried it this morning for the first time. Held my breath for like 2 minutes something. I was like really surprised, man.
Yeah, I gotta get back on it. I tried it a bit, but I started doing it when I was at Nikki's, so I would practice in the basement, so nobody would like be, what is this weirdo doing? But then I remember what happened. I think I was teaching seminars for the next month or so. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it, and this person's sleeping over there, like just sound like a weirdo doing that Wim Hof thing.
And your routine is like thrown off when you're traveling and teaching seminars and all this stuff. So it's hard. Like some habits that you're trying to build, like when you're not at home is a bit harder, obviously. Now is the time. Now is the time to. I've been doing yoga every morning now. That was like one of my thing. I was like, I'm just gonna find a 30-day challenge or something like that, where like it's a video every day that comes out, and to start doing yoga. It's like 10-15 minutes in the morning. So you wake up, you do that because you have time to do it, and you're not like all fucked up from the training yesterday. You know, I can't I need to sleep 10 hours. No, I'm fine. You know, I wake up, I can do something.
Dude, there are some things that I'm doing that I'm like doing better. Like my LSIT time has gone up. Like I banged out 40 seconds for the first time this week.
Damn.
40 seconds, LSIT, nothing to hold on, just straight up hands, get some.
That's brutal.
So I banged that out. What else did I do? I was like, whoa, wait, I never thought I could. I don't remember, but dude, there's some things that I'm doing. It's like, wow, I feel. Oh, pistols. I did like new record of pistols. I think it was 13 per leg, like just one set of pistols on one leg. So like, dude, I couldn't do more than 5. So I was like, I don't know. Some things are getting stronger, I feel, which is good.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, that 40-second, I'll have to start getting my LSIT better then.
Yeah, no, it was once that I got the
still.
40. Yeah, close to 4. I think like 38. I don't want to lie, actually. 38. Yeah, like I'll round it up.
38.4.
38.43940. Never mind. Yeah, you get good rest. You're sleeping in good, man. You're eating loads of food. You're not moving around. You're not commuting. You're not stressing out about, I don't know. Well, maybe you could be stressing out. I don't know. It depends on.
I'm fine.
Yeah, sometimes I have waves of.
Me too, actually.
Sometimes it makes your mind wonder how far it can go. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
The tension is like on every level. I feel like the tension is rising a bit. You feel like if you follow the news, there is international tension that rises between the States and Canada. There are things that. Yeah, like exactly.
What kind of tension, man? I'm completely still like I don't watch the news, man. What's happening?
I'll keep you in the loop. So you're doing probably the best thing, not watching the news. Yeah. You don't get attention. I feel like the only time I feel a bit stressed out is when I start like reading a bit too much news. I'm like, all right, this is going to shit. So we were talking about the mask like a bit earlier. So one of the things that has been happening is like Trump, there's that company 3M that's like the biggest like in the United States that makes the most masks. But it's globalization now. So like you make the mask and you ship them to other countries and you keep some for the United States. It's part of the contract, the deals, whatever. And now Trump said like with a decree, he said, all right, you guys cannot ship any more masks anywhere in the world. They all stay in the United States. And they prevent them from shipping to Canada. And Canada was like, oh, we need those masks too, and the United States is like, no, like you're not getting them. So, it's starting to put people on like, okay, like it fucks up a bit the negotiation, right, in between countries, because we're sending stuff over there too, so because that's how it works, right? The trading is like we have some specialties and some masks, we send them, they send us some. So when you read that, you're like, all right, this is, it's like the law of nature right now. The fitter and the better, like you win, more power you have.
Yeah.
Listen, just wrap a shirt around your face, you'll be good to go, apparently, right?
Yeah, there was another incident actually a few weeks ago. I think he was contemplating bringing troops on Canadian border as well.
Yeah,
which never happened before, I think.
Yeah,
they want to bring what?
They were talking about having troops on the border, but mostly for like preventing probably. Well, that's what we think, preventing like migration of like maybe people illegally, but during that time, so they don't bring COVID. But to be honest, we should have troops because they have like so many cases. They're fucking up right now. So there's all that stuff going on. Plus, like other news that had me freak out. Let's say this week is like the police in Quebec, they were using against someone that had like the COVID that was not respecting the quarantine. They were using the GPS in the phone to track them without their consent to find that they were not at home, and they find them. Yes, that's fucked up. Like we have liberties and civil rights, and they're like playing around it while people are like all scared, obviously.
Dude, yeah, that's, you know what? You guys just stressed the living hell out of me in like just these 2 minutes. Holy shit.
There you go, man.
Yeah, I wake up and I'm just watching Nicky Rod workout videos, man. That's what I'm watching.
Yeah, you should. I think it's good for your health.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is like, Taza is probably spending the whole week chilling, and then he talks to us and he's like, fuck.
What's happening, man? Holy shit. Honestly, I don't follow the news. What I would really like to know though is, I don't know, apparently from the bit that I understand is that there's like a curve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for now it's this way.
Okay, sorry, yeah. The curve.
the curve going off the screen. It's right there off the screen, all right? It keeps going up.
That's wild. So we're at the curve. Which point of the curve are we at right now?
It keeps going up, so they don't know.
Yeah, hockey stick going up.
Taza here on the good news today on the Off Balance podcast.
Jesus, man.
News of the week.
You should have never brought that up. Fuck me. I thought like this would be over in 2 weeks and all right, we're just going to get back to training. And
yeah, that's what they wanted you to think. But now they just announced that the province is shut down until at least May 4th. It's going to go up every single week. Yes, sir.
Jesus, man. Dude, good thing this is not happening ADCC year, man. I know it sounds selfish. I'm sorry, but
no, I agree.
So happy it's not ADCC year, man. Fuck, that would have hurt.
Tell this to Olympians.
It's the Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, people who are like in every country were working their butts off to get ready and qualify. And
dude, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's 4 years for them. It's even worse. Fuck.
But I believe they're planning to do them next year in 2021. That's what they're talking about. Hopefully it goes.
But still, having this target and all planned out, including the workouts and competitions.
There,
yeah, you're peaking for like that one moment. It's been 3 years. You're peaking for that 1 year. You know what I mean? It's like, all right.
I'm sure some injured athletes are happy about it, though.
That's one thing, dude. That's one thing. Yeah. Injured athletes, yeah. Knees are happy.
So yeah, it's pretty wild, but
So how do you know? How do you know when it's time to? How are we gonna know? Okay, it's a bit safer now. We can maybe see one or two people. I don't know. Like, what's the deal? What's the next move? Like, where does this
There
end?
is no answer. There is no answer, to be honest. Like from what I see, there is no answer. And again, even like I try to avoid going down this rabbit hole, and my mind wanders often because the more you think, the scarier it becomes in a way, especially for jiu-jitsu. Because again, we're gonna be one of the last ones to be anywhere close to normal.
I already switched careers, man. I'm already doing these fucking workout videos on YouTube. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Taza's an influencer now. The perfect kettlebell. It's actually pretty good, man. I've watched them.
Really? Have you?
Yeah. You actually helped me for my form for the
Turkish get up.
The Turkish get up. Yeah. I had some shit I wasn't doing right. So there you go.
There you go. Fucking testimonial. My biggest testimonial, guys. My biggest.
There you go.
Listen, you know what? I think Nick Rod and I should do a collab where maybe I bring up the production value and he brings up maybe the form technique. We can maybe find like a middle ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm pushing it too much in one direction, and then he's hiring like a guy to edit his videos and to flex on the camera and shit.
His hit it was pretty good though.
Who him?
Yeah, his hit it was pretty good, but it was so hype.
He had a good guy do it. Me, I'm doing it. Dude, I know nothing about iMovie. I'm literally the biggest white belt ever. Drag and drop, and that's all I'm doing. Somehow I figured out how to sync the audio with the audio with the video. Sorry, that was a nightmare, man. I don't know how I got it down. But
oh man, that's hilarious.
You know what? You can teach yourself anything, man. And again, like that David Agudzi episode we had really kind of like made me realize, like, yo, I should be learning the shit that I will maybe one day want to hire somebody to do. Why not learn it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and as an athlete, marketing yourself, like I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, because I haven't been really active on social media right now, just because I was thinking, oh, not much is going on. I'm just gonna work on myself. But you're right. Like you should, like, as an athlete at the very least, or as a gym owner, like marketing the gym. Well, right now it's not the best time to do it, but still, you know what I mean? It's like a good skill to get. Sorry, Val. Oh man!
Wow, how much do you weigh right now? What's the scale?
I'm not stepping on the scales until we're out of it. Honestly, I'm not checking. I don't think I gained too much. Like honestly, like first week I pushed the pedal hard, but now I'm getting bored.
You know what? I'm same as you, Val. The first 2 weeks I was feeling like overeating, going crazy, but then like because here's the thing, we're training all the time and we're hungry and we're craving shit and we're like trying not to eat because we want to be good for training and we're training twice a day. So a vast majority of the time we're kind of watching what we eat. But now it's like, you got time? Man, I binged the first like week or two. I was going in, but now I stabilized at like 183, 182.
It's like an emotional response almost to like the shutdown. I remember I went to the store. I'd never buy ice cream. I was like, I'm going to get ice cream just because I know I have to stay at home, first week. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it. But now I've been pretty like normal, like eating healthy, like cooking the meals and just good stuff and training.
Me, it's the sleep that I need to monitor a bit. Like I've been going to bed late, like really late.
Slowly, I started to go towards like 2 a.m.
2, yeah. I'm getting close to 3, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a cutoff time because my kids are awake in the morning, so.
Yeah.
Does that wake you up?
Yeah, of course.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not that early. They're now as well. Like they shifted a little bit the schedule, so they're up around 9.
It's like living in a different part of the world. I feel like I live in California now. You know what I mean? I just wake up Cali time.
Make some call.
I'm synced up with Mike Perez. We can have phone calls and we're just fucking chill.
Dude, I've been banging like almost 9 or 10 hours of sleep every single night, man.
It's good. It's good, man. it's the best. The sleep, I haven't set an alarm in a long time. That feels a bit weird. You know what I mean? I heard the alarm for the first time yesterday because I was like timing the amount of rest I would take, and it like gave me like anxiety and nausea, like hearing the alarm. You know what I mean? When you hear the alarm, it like triggers some kind of anxiety. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for me, this is how I know that it's Saturday or Sunday only, because I still have my IT job, so I have the alarm on during the weekdays.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, good, man. At least you're still working, like we said last time. That's a good thing. Still,
Definitely kind of eases in, because I can't imagine what other business owners are going through. You know, if you put everything and normally you probably should, if you're really invested in your business, at some point you have to jump ship 100% and invest the most amount of effort in your business. And imagine somebody opened just took a renovation loan or took up whatever money from the bank to start their own business, and this business is let's say a gym, a coffee shop, or whatever public spot.
Whatever it is. Yeah,
that's probably hard.
Yeah, it's tough for sure, man.
Are you guys still eating at restaurants or no?
I went for the first time Friday, actually.
Oh shit, where'd you go?
I had a takeout, like just Orange Gillette, man, just some good old fries.
You dirty
like,
bastard.
Proper like cheeseburgers and stuff like that. It was fun, man. First time in 3 weeks to have a restaurant. It was cool.
What about Push Up, that Indian restaurant right next to TriStar?
I still do takeout, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it, man. I'd say hold off maybe a couple, maybe give that Push Up another couple of months, man.
Yeah. No, but the place I went to, like, it was actually like so secure, like the whole, like the way they did it. So I was like, okay, it's not too bad, you know. But yeah, Push Up, I think I'm gonna hold off for now.
Wait, Orange Gillette are doing shit for the virus that makes it look safer?
Yeah, so they're like you have to stand obviously like 2 meters away, and then everything is protected by plexiglass, and even the thing you talk through, there's like a tissue through it, so it can't like. You're not amazing. Spitting in the face of the guy,
All of the small changes that happened as well. Like I go to grocery shopping like once a week, and every time you notice a difference. Like these lines on the entrances with 2 meter apart standing people, the plastic covers, as you mentioned, in front of the cashiers' faces, and all this. We're literally living in a sci-fi dystopian movie. Because like the announcement on the screens at the pharmacy as well, like COVID-19 red signs.
I know, right?
Oh my god,
it's like a movie for real.
It's a special phase, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a special times. Whatever.
I'm gonna remember this.
Yeah. Taza just received all the news right there today, and he's like, "Special time, I swear."
Oh my god! I just try to convince myself, like. All right, here, the times that we talked about, like the food, the sleep. When I'm actually about to sleep, I'm like, God, I'm enjoying. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm enjoying it. Sometimes when I wake up and I'm like, all right, what am I doing? Is like, a bit more. It's like, depends on the times. You know what I mean?
We're part of the lucky one too. Like all our situation, I think here, like value, we're saying you're a business owner, but at the same time, you still have your job that like provides you with like money and for your family and the business and. Taza, you're lucky too. Like just like me, like we don't have a lot of expenses, so we're good on that side, But some people are really struggling for sure. So we don't feel it as much. The pressure is not the same for us,
I hear you, man. I hear you. There's a lot of tragedy out there, but we try to cheer people up.
Make it your best. Yeah, exactly.
Try to cheer people up and do what you can and stay on the path, stay healthy, stay active, whatever you can do, man.
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah, should we wrap this up?
Yeah, on this positive note.
That's a good positive note to wrap it up.
Yeah, unless you want some more news, Taza.
No, I think we'll save it for the next episode, maybe the last couple of minutes, or maybe never.
Yeah, maybe never. We'll just update you. It's going to be Taza gets updated.
Taza update, week number 4.
Taza reacts.
Taza reacts. That's a reaction on. You know what? Here's the thing. If you watch some of Joe Rogan's like thumbnails, it's always Joe Rogan reacts to, and it's always like the Jamie picks it, so it's a time where Joe Rogan's like having a funny face, like just one of them. And then it's like Joe Rogan reacts to transgender woman trying to, I don't know, some shit like that. You know what I mean? They'll put that title and make you want to click on it. It's so funny.
That's basically gonna be we should do clips of Taza reacting to the news. Just like, you know,
just me with the headphone cross-eyed, just like jaw drop, just like completely bewildered.
All right, guys, let's do that support section. All right. So
From
first
there,
of all, yeah, we got Mizu Montreal, obviously Val behind the mic and the cam with us since the quarantine days. The gym's gonna be back there. It's gonna be open when all this shit goes down to normal or goes back to normal.
You know what would have been funny? It would have been funny if Val, like, despite the situation, would have been behind the computer, so you would see just the wall. Yeah, so if there was never. That would have been
imagine just the wall, but you hear him.
Well,
but you can't see him.
Stays behind the screen. That would have been amazing.
You should have printed exactly your wallpaper or the back and just put it in front of your camera. That would have been hilarious.
That's it.
But yeah, so thank you, Mizu, obviously, for supporting the usual. You guys are going to be back then when we're back. Next up, we have Scramble Canada. All right. Best gear. Val's wearing a sweatshirt right now. So we still have online order, right, on Scramble Canada. It's still working out. Yeah. So if you guys need some gear or some apparel for the everyday life, just get on the website, Scramble Canada. We'll put it in the description. Best gear. If you want to save some money, Taza has a code. I have a code. So you guys can jump in and get some gear for cheaper. Next up, World Forever. Wearing the drip. If you're on YouTube, you're gonna see it. All right. So Roll Forever, it's Betty. Betty's been starting. I mean, you guys have been listening to us saying what's up about the companies that are supporting us. They've been helping us since the beginning. We were talking to last week that we had a Patreon set up. Betty has been obviously the first supporter. She went on and she was like, I'm gonna get on Patreon for these guys. So thank you, Betty, for your help. You guys are gonna get shout out if you get on Patreon and you like what we're doing. And the website's going to be up sooner than later, actually. Maybe not the shop, but we're going to have other stuff up on the website with Roll Forever. It should be up in a couple of weeks. We have blog entries, like the match, everything that Off Balance we do is going to be on that website too, with our partnership and instructionals everywhere. So you guys will be able to link up on that. Who else am I? You were talking about Tom earlier, Physiomentum, right?
Yeah.
What's happening with Physiomentum? They're still running.
Physiomentum, they're doing online sessions, and like anytime I'm about to do something, I'll just run it by Tom real quick because it kind of feels like rehab again right now. So I just hit up Tom whenever I have questions. I encourage you guys to do the same. If you have any PT, physio, if you don't have one, you can reach out to them right now. Physiomentum, check them out on Instagram. We'll have everything available in the description for you guys to go and support. And support you guys. Again, there's a free instructional available. I know I'm gonna blow it up as much as possible because it's free and times are tough and people want to level up and people don't want to fall asleep in front of their laptops trying to get some information. We don't believe in the fluff. We get straight to the point. So support at grapplearts.com. Get your copy because it's a limited giveaway and it will no longer be free very soon. So there's that. Get you some leg locks that will put you ahead of the game. That's it for me, man. Guys, it was nice catching up with you.
Yeah, beautiful recap for Taza.
Yeah. Keep me updated or not. Keep me updated or not. Val, nice seeing you, man. Nice seeing you in good spirits. Pio, you too.
Yep.
We will keep in touch and we will see you guys next week. To our listeners, thank you for tuning in. Guys, make sure to subscribe, click the bell to notify you when we drop breakdowns, when we drop episodes, and keep you in the game. All right, without any further ado, guys, we'll see you next time. Safe in it.